I need to talk to you about Kirby. Kirby is one of the cutest, puffiest, most destructive Nintendo characters in existence. Its games were very memorable and they solidified the puffball a permanent place in video game culture. All of the main series games were 2D platformers though, and I have to question this fact. Why hasn't Kirby starred in a grand 3D adventure game yet? The Nintendo 64 era was when a lot of Nintendo characters took the 3D jump, for better or for worse. Kirby, however, made a 2.5D platformer being the Crystal Shards. I think that this was okay, as the game was still great, innovative, and there were mini-games too. So after that, the GameCube finally fell to the piercing pressure of furious, uncontrollable Kirby fans dying for the game, and they gave us Kirby Air Ride, a three-dimensional Kirby game. Well, it wasn't an adventure game, it was a racing game. Okay, there had to have been other Kirby games for GameCube to go along with this. There weren't? Why would they do that? Okay, so yeah, Kirby Air Ride was by no means a bad game, but it was just a spin-off of the main series, which continued on the Game Boy Advance with, Amazing Mirror and all that. I think there were some ideas for a 3D Kirby adventure on GameCube, but they didn't see the light of day, unfortunately for us. So now, the Wii brought us 2 entries in the series, and you would think that at least one would make the jump. However, this did not happen. Epic Yarn strayed away from the standard Kirby style, and this resulted in a completely different type of game. Return to Dreamland was a fantastic game with 4-player co-op and great, yet very traditional gameplay. So with the history out of the way, I constructed an organized list of ideas that I think would be in a good 3D Kirby game. I divided this series in 8 sections, in this order: intro and controls, gameplay, altered gameplays, presentation, abilities part 1 and 2, multiplayer, and finally, other. I've already given my introduction, so the rest of this episode focuses on controls. So here we go. Okay, so the controls of this game should be very simple, easy to use, and should cover all the features Kirby should do. I've mapped the controls to a virtual console controller because it's a fairly basic controller to see, and I'll briefly overview the buttons. Afterward, I shall go into further detail. The left control stick is used to move. What do you think it would be for? Pelvic thrusting? Oh, wait, does Kirby even have a pelvis? Maybe. Who knows? Moving on. The A button makes you jump. The B button uses an ability or inhales crap so you can use an ability in the first place. Y is used for melee, which has a lot of advantages that I'll talk about later. R will make you crouch or whatever sort of body compression tactic Kirby performs. And L rids you of an unwanted ability. And the right stick moves the camera. X is one of the 4 face buttons that should be either left vacant, shielding, or managing helpers, a mechanic from Kirby Superstar. I will discuss these more later. So, starting with movement, it is very self-explanatory. Just look at 3D Mario walking. Yeah, you see Mario walking? Shouldn't be a problem. A is for jumping, and then tapping it will let you float in the air. Again, not much to explain here. B lets you inhale, and then use an ability acquired from inhaling. Abilities are going to be very individualized and different from each other, and I've devoted not 1, but 2 full episodes to them. There will also be a lot of detail for the abilities. Pressing B in different situations like aerial, underwater, or while running could create different attacks. One example of this is using the bomb underwater, which will create torpedoes. So many awesome possibilities with this, just the combinations, but I'll talk more on that later. Y will let you use melee. Press it once to punch, tapping it 3 times in a row will create 2 punches followed by a kick, a little bit stronger. And if you are crouching, press Y to do that slide attack that Kirby's known for in the 2D games. Abilities will affect your melee attacks, fire punches for example if you got fire. Okay, now crouching may seem useless, but it has its merits. Aside from the hours spent for gamer biologists to understand how it's physically possible for Kirby to even do that, it can also let you dodge flying enemies, slide under small passages, and, just open up the game to more exploration and secret finding, which is a good thing. Finally, the camera. Honestly, moving cameras are sort of annoying, so I think this should be just an option for more exploration, and the programmer should auto-program the camera to properly pan itself most of the time during action sequences. However, Kirby is adventurous, exploration-oriented like I said before, and it's a free-spirited game, so camera movement is a good addition to the controller for exploring around and seeing the level. So that pretty much covers all the buttons I have mapped to the controller. One tactic that is currently not in the control scheme that I would like to bring up is the shield. The X button may sound like a place to put it because it doesn't really have anything else right now, but no, it's not really going to be that necessary. If you think a shield would enhance the gameplay, feel free to leave a comment about how that would really work. it just doesn't really seem like it has a point to me. I never used it in Kirby Superstar Ultra, so why would I use it now? Well, that concludes my first episode of Kirby 3D. In the next episode, I will be discussing the general gameplay of the game. Click on one of the annotations to jump you to an episode, or you can go to the playlist. And of course, if you have your own opinions, please, I really would like to see your comments if you want to leave a video response. And if you liked it, like, favorite if you really liked it. And yeah, that's it. So anyway, this has been Derek, and I hope I see you all in part 2.